One of the things you made, the point you made just now about leaders need to lean into it and recognize, marginalized people and work to get that equity. Um, how do you, what do you do, and what advice do you have for those leaders? Because leaders get tired, right? There's so much
Right.
in the world that the leaders don't even want to think about privilege and meritocracy, unconscious bias, all the inclusion and diversity topics, and all the other things that they're dealing with on a daily basis. What advice do you have for leaders and your everyday people that are walking along doing their job to help them get through and survive, not just survive, but to move forward, right? Any
Yeah.
share with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of this, and I don't know if I can say this on the air, but my hard ass response is
Say anything
it,
about our webinar. We speak truth to power.
okay, truth to power. My hard ass response is if you really want to make a difference, you don't have a choice not to ignore privilege and meritocracy and your responsibility and inclusion and diversity. And if you're not doing what I said a moment ago, you're not waking up with a dilemma, right? So I'll start off with the premise that they need to, as hard as it may be, think about how hard it is if you aren't in those positions to do that, and if you don't have the power. We all are privileged in one way or the other, but it's to what degree, right? So here's what I would say. Here's how to facilitate that. Leaders have got to stop thinking that they have to recreate the wheel, change every bit of something to make something effective and have an impact. There's another perspective, and it's a woman named Deborah Meyerson has come up with this notion of the tempered radical. And it's a wonderful book that Deborah Meyerson, and I think she renamed it to Rocking the Boat. So if you go out on, it's whatever, however, I don't want to say go to Amazon and order it, because you can do it in multiple ways, but go to Amazon and order it. It's a wonderful book, and what it says in there is how do leaders affect change, and how do leaders affect change in this space? You don't have to recreate the wheel. So what she talks about is leaders need to rock the boat, rock it hard, but keep themselves and others in the boat, because you can't affect change if you're out of the boat. So that's one. And then that really gets at to what leaders can do. The other part of what she talks about, the other analogy she uses, the other description is she talks about dropping pebbles that cause ripples. So leaders should drop pebbles, not change everything. Drop a pebble that causes a ripple, that causes someone else to drop a pebble that causes a ripple, that causes someone else to drop a pebble that causes a ripple. It's the aggregation of all those pebbles that leads to systemic change. You don't have to do it yourself, leader. You just have to do your part. And your part might be, I'm going to lean into her. I know everyone on the hiring committee wants this guy, but I'm going to lean into her because I'm going to give her a chance to be successful. We're going to make sure she's successful. That's all you need to do. And then that committee might have someone on that committee goes, wow, that's really interesting. So the next time they're on a committee, they may drop a pebble in the same way. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to fix everything yourself. You just have to do your part. And sometimes your part could be as little as making a comment in a meeting that says, hey, you know what? We keep discounting her perspective and talking over her. I think that's wrong. I think let's hear what she has to say. I think she has a valid point. And the idea you just gave is what she said 10 minutes ago. That is a pebble you can drop that may change a dynamic in a room, that may increase the person's engagement, the woman's hope that she's going to be successful. Maybe you don't lose her now to attrition and she stays. So there's so many benefits to just doing a simple thing, Cody. So that's what leaders can do is, and to the question the person on the screen says, the most important thing a person can do about meritocracy and privilege is acknowledge it. And realize it's real and adjust your behavior because of it. If you treat this kind of discussion we're having today, or lessons and learnings about meritocracy and privilege, and you go about doing the same old thing, you just do check the box, you're not doing anything. What we need you to do is change your behavior, acknowledge it, recognize it, and then change your behavior about it. Drop a pebble. You don't have to recreate the whole thing. Let other people create whole systems and structures, right? Just do one thing that makes a difference. And then when you think about it, if you have 50 leaders in an organization doing one thing each week, I mean, that adds up over, I don't know what 50 times 365 days or 52 weeks or what, that's a lot of change that could happen. And that's how culture shifts. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, that is amazing. It's really powerful. Eddie, I want to thank you. This has been phenomenal. I've learned a ton on this, and I really appreciate that. If there are any questions that come up we didn't get a chance to get to, we'll get those questions and get those to you. But I'm really thankful that you joined us, and I know the audience is going to benefit greatly from just some of the key things you talked about. So any parting thoughts for our audience?
Again, so I'll give you a challenge. I mean, that's something, that I like to do. I'll challenge everyone in the audience to a couple things. I'll challenge you to not take my word for anything I said today. Go do your own research and start thinking about how you have privilege. Everyone has privilege. So think about how you have privilege and figure out a way to help others who don't have that same privilege. So I challenge you to do that. Make this topic your own. And I also challenge people to don't leave here today and just go about your business like you do every day. I think you should have a dilemma that the ideals of meritocracy, they're kind of cool to think about. Let's all make them real. So that's my challenge. That's what I would say to people is don't leave this place and do the same old thing you do every day. Then this has been a waste of time, right? Go do something different. Challenge yourself. Be a tempered radical is what I would say.
That's awesome. I love the tempered radical. Well, Eddie, thank you very much. Thank everyone for joining us. We'll make sure that the replay is available. I'm thrilled to have you, Eddie, and appreciate it. Hope you have an amazing afternoon.
Cody, thank you. Anytime I can hang with you, brother, that's anytime, man. Just give me a shout. I'll come chill with you for sure. All right, Cody.
Take care.
Right, thank you.
All right, bye.